There is a drink in the Bible that most translators get wrong. They call it milk. Sometimes curds, sometimes butter. But the original Hebrew word chema describes something very specific. Something thick, something fermented, something alive. A drink that modern lab analysis shows contains over 60 strains of beneficial bacteria and yeast. Your store-bought yogurt? It has maybe 5 or 6. That's not a small difference. That's an entirely different category of food, and the people of the Bible drink it every single day. But I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. Because first, you need to understand what this drink meant in the ancient world, why it was offered to kings and angels alike, and why the modern dairy industry doesn't want you making it at home. History: in Genesis 18, 3 visitors appear at Abraham's tent. Most scholars believe these visitors were angels or God himself. And what does Abraham do? He runs to prepare food. He tells Sarah to bake bread. He selects a calf, and he brings them chima and challah, fermented milk, and fresh milk. He served fermented milk to God. That's how important this drink was. It wasn't a backup option. It wasn't a peasant beverage. It was the finest thing a wealthy man could offer to the most honored guests imaginable. In Judges chapter 4, when the commander Sisera fled from battle and stumbled into Jael's tent, she gave him chema in a lordly bowl, a magnificent vessel reserved for the best drink they had. In Proverbs, the churning of milk is mentioned alongside the pressing of anger. Both produce something powerful. The process of fermentation wasn't just cooking, it was transformation. Throughout the ancient Near East, from the Caucasus Mountains to the deserts of Arabia, nomadic peoples kept fermented milk cultures alive the way they kept fire alive, carefully, constantly, because losing it meant starting over from nothing. The drink had many names in many cultures. But the one that survived, the one you can still find today, is kefir. And the people of the Bible were drinking it thousands of years before it showed up in your health food aisle. Science. Modern microbiology has found that kefir grains, the living culture used to ferment the milk, contain one of the most complex probiotic ecosystems ever studied. A typical kefir culture hosts 61 or more strains of bacteria and yeast. Commercial yogurt contains between 2 and 6. That's not a percentage difference, that's an order of magnitude. These organisms do things that single-strain probiotics simply can't. They produce antimicrobial compounds that fight harmful bacteria. They synthesize B vitamins and vitamin K inside your gut. They break down lactose, which is why many lactose-intolerant people can drink kefir without problems. Studies have linked regular kefir consumption to improved gut barrier function, reduced inflammation, better immune response, and even positive effects on bone density due to its high calcium and vitamin K2 content. The fermentation process also partially digests the milk proteins, making them easier to absorb. It increases the bioavailability of minerals. It creates beneficial organic acids that lower the pH of the gut environment, making it hostile to pathogens. In simple terms, kefir turns milk into a living medicine. And the ancient peoples who drank it daily, who carried their cultures in leather pouches across deserts and mountain passes, were maintaining a gut microbiome that modern humans, with all our supplements and probiotics, can barely approximate. Villain. So why is kefir a niche product while yogurt dominates every supermarket shelf? Because yogurt is easier to manufacture at scale. It uses 2 or 3 controlled bacterial strains. It's predictable. It's consistent. It has a long shelf life. You can add sugar and fruit flavoring and sell it for 3 times what it costs to make. Kefir is wild. It's alive in a way that factories don't like. The culture is unpredictable. It varies batch to batch. You can't standardize it the way shareholders want. And the real kefir made from actual kefir grains, not from powdered starter packets, can be made at home. Indefinitely, for free. Once you have the grains, they grow, they multiply. You never need to buy them again. The dairy industry doesn't sell you a product that replaces itself. That's bad business. So they gave you yogurt instead. A fraction of the bacteria. A fraction of the benefit. But fully controllable, fully marketable, and fully profitable. Devotion. Picture Abraham's camp. The oaks of memory. Late afternoon, the heat just beginning to soften. Sarah is inside the tent. Abraham sits at the entrance. And 3 figures appear on the horizon, walking toward him through the shimmer of the desert air. He doesn't wait, he runs to them, bows, begs them to stay. and then he moves with an urgency that tells you everything about what this moment means. He tells Sarah to make bread from the finest flour, he runs to the herd and selects a tender calf, and he goes to where the fermented milk is kept, a goatskin bag hanging in the shade, bulging slightly, alive with the slow work of cultures that have been tended for generations. He pours it into a bowl. The liquid is thick, slightly tangy, cool from the shade. Tiny bubbles cling to the surface. It smells clean and sharp like the desert morning. He places it before his guests alongside the bread and the meat, the best of everything, and the fermented milk is right there in the center of the table, equal to all of it. This is what Abraham served to heaven, not wine, not water. Living milk, transformed by time and patience into something greater than what it started as. Recipe, here's how to make it yourself, the real way. The way it's been made since before scripture was written. You need kefir grains, not powder, not a packet, living grains. You can find them online at health food stores or from someone who already makes kefir because the grains grow and people share them. That's how the culture has survived for millennia. One person hands it to the next. Take 1 tablespoon of kefir grains. Place them in a clean glass jar. Pour 2 cups of whole milk over them, goat milk if you can get it, which is closest to what they used. Cow milk works fine. Cover the jar with a cloth or a loose lid. Not airtight, the culture needs to breathe. Place it on your counter at room temperature. Not in the fridge, not in the sun, just on the counter, the way you'd set something down and trust it to do its work. Wait 24 hours. In that time, the grains will consume the lactose, multiply the bacteria, produce organic acids, and transform the milk into something entirely new. After 24 hours, strain the liquid through a mesh strainer into a clean jar. The grains stay in the strainer, put them back into fresh milk, and start the next batch. They'll last forever if you keep feeding them. What you pour out is kefir, real kefir. Thick, tangy, slightly effervescent, loaded with over 60 strains of probiotics. Drink it plain, add honey, blend it with fruit. Pour it over bread the way Abraham might have. That's it. 1 tablespoon of grains, milk, thyme, the same 3 things they used in the hills of Canaan 4,000 years ago. We spend billions on gut health, probiotic capsules, prebiotic powders, supplements with strain names we can't pronounce. And the most powerful probiotic food ever documented was sitting in a goatskin bag in Abraham's tent being served to angels. It's still alive, it's still growing, and now it's yours. Share this with someone who needs it. And if you want to keep pulling back the curtain on what the Bible has been hiding in plain sight, subscribe and hit the bell. The cup is full. Come sit down.